Well, hello guys. It's been a little while. So I thought I'd say hi and give a quick update on what's going on at my end here and stuff, and what's likely to be happening in the near future. So a lot of the stuff that I've been doing has been kind of upgrades. And so since a lot of what I'm doing increasingly is more modern electronics, I finally got a proper ESD grounded work surface for when I'm working on a lot of that stuff. It still smells very strongly of rubber, so I feel like I'm working in a quick fit tire center at the moment. So that's that. Another little project I'm working on is, some of you may have seen this little antenna called the Godar antenna, which if you look on their website, this is the antenna to beat all antennas. There's nothing it can't do. So I got this a couple of years ago, and quite a number of years ago I think, but we got off to a bad start because it comes with a right angle bracket underneath it and a screw on BNC type connector and a length of cable. And so I did a temporary setup where I just clamped it to the bench and hooked up the cable and plugged it in and whatever. And when I went to take it down again, take it all apart, where the cable went up into the bottom and the BNC connector, I couldn't get it off. The connector would just turn and turn and turn. So I couldn't figure out in the end, because the nut that was holding it was on the inside of this. I had to cut the base of it off so I could grab hold of the nut and tighten it up. Anyway, I then heard about the wonders of magnetic loops, and this thing got thrown in a drawer and has been there ever since. And so I thought I might repurpose it, because I have a whole bunch of radios upstairs, and every time I want to, give them a run up and just, keep them going, I have to bring them downstairs, hook them up to the antenna, and so on and so on. So it's a lot of a mess. So I thought what I need is an antenna upstairs that I can just walk around and plug it into each of the radios that are upstairs. And so I thought I'll give this guy a go. And so I glued it onto the top of a black box, which some of you may remember from a certain Chinese amplifier that I got a while ago, which incidentally generated more trolls and hate mail than any of my uploads. Anyway, so this was the box that was pretending to hide the mains and output transformers, which didn't exist. Well, the mains transformer did, but not the output transformers. So I'm going to put that in here. I'm just waiting to plug in. I just got it today, a BNC connector. I'm going to drill a little hole here and have the BNC, and then I'll have a cable that'll go off to my radios. So that's that one. I didn't think it was worth videoing that, so I didn't. I might show it to you at the end when it's done, but it's pretty much done anyway. Oh, one BNC connector. Another little project I've been working on is a Geiger counter and logger. Since I live very close to a certain famous research establishment, and every now and then these sirens go off, which I assume are like a fire drill or something, but hey, I thought it wouldn't do any harm to just have a Geiger counter and have it mounted up on the wall in the kitchen or somewhere and just let it do its thing. So this is a do-it-yourself, build-it-yourself kit, which I got off eBay, and this is the detector tube. And so I have been taking videos of this thing going together because it has a whole bunch of surface mount components on this board, and so it's been my first foray into surface mount work. I figured I'd bite the bullet. Why not? How bad can it be? Well, it can be pretty bad when your eyes are going. So that one's also been on the go, so I expect to be able to post a video of that fairly soon, I hope. Another little project that I'm is about to kick off fairly soon is an upgrade to the old CNC machine. As I'm getting more confident in using it, I start to find the drawbacks and things that can be improved. So I've ordered up a new Z mechanism which uses linear bearings rather than the little wheels that are on the standard machine. And also some risers so that the whole thing is there's much greater clearance off the bed, so you can work on things that are much deeper. And so I'm hoping that at least some of those parts will start to arrive within the next couple of days. And yeah, I think that'll be an interesting one, because the standard Z mechanism comes built for the old DeWalt router. And of course I'm using the Cress motor, which is specifically meant as a spindle motor. So I'll have to make I'll have to make an extra plate to make it compatible with the Cress. So that should be interesting. So that's that. And probably the other stuff I've been at as stuff around the 3D printer. So on the 3D printer, a couple of things. One is dealing with different types of filament. And so one of the things I want to do is for the Pi radio, the original, the first ever radio that I did, which is my parents' one. The chassis hasn't really been restored. I just got it working because at the time I wasn't really sure what I was doing. And since the cabinet was completely destroyed, 98% of the energy of that project went into rebuilding the cabinet. And so I always meant to get back and do a proper restoration of the chassis. So that's on the list of things to do. One of the things I haven't been able to find is rubber grommets for holding up the tuning condenser. And there is now a filament called NinjaFlex, which lets you print squidgy things. And so I'm gonna measure up and see if I can make some grommets that will hold the tuning condenser on the Pi without looking like rubbish, because all I've done with it at the moment is a very crappy looking solution. So that's that. This is some wood filament, so I'm going to experiment with doing some wood printing, and I've also got some carbon fiber type filament, and for a lot of these things you need much harder nozzles than the standard brass ones, and so I got a hardened steel nozzle. We're going to try that out. And so yeah, so that's all the sort of stuff that's been going on in between little noodling around with the guitar. And oh yeah, I bricked my Line 6 amp and had to get that sorted out. That was another saga. But yeah, the weather has been absolutely atrocious, although it's starting to finally show signs of summer here. My central heating packed up a couple of nights ago, and it's about 30 years old, so I'm gonna basically have to get the entire system replaced, and so that's going to be disruptive. So as I say, depending when all these things kick off will determine when the next clip is uploaded after this one. So there you go, all is well, and so lots of stuff going on, and yeah, hopefully I'll get my act together and I'll start uploading some of this projects in a bit more detail very soon. That's it. Talk to you again soon. Cheers for now.